Talisman Sabre.
Talisman Sabre.
Talisman Sabre.
It's the biggest air deployment in the War Games' 20-year history, in a powerful show of force in unity with our allies.
Talisman Sabre, the biggest and most important military exercise in Australia. A military exercise that keeps growing. Why is this military exercise so important and continues to get bigger and bigger? Well, today we're answering these questions and more on Global Military News. Back in 2005, 16,000 soldiers from Australia and the United States officially started the first Talisman Sabre in Queensland, Australia. 20 years later, we have Talisman Sabre 2025 that has 19 nations and over 35,000 soldiers. As I mentioned at the start of the video, this military exercise continues to grow. Talisman Sabre happens every 2 years in Australia, hosted by the United States and Australia, most of the time happening in Australia, but sometimes it does go overseas, like in the 2025 Talisman Sabre. Parts of it was done in Papua New Guinea. Before we can talk about why it's so important, we need to cover what Australia and the United States is trying to achieve with these military exercises. Talisman Sabre allows Australia and the US with their allies to understand how each other operate in a combat setting and understand each other's capabilities. This is important because the main point of Talisman Sabre is seeing how Australia, the US and their allies can join forces when the time is needed and operate with each other and their equipment. Having this understanding and training is an amazing capability for these nations to have. Like for example, let's say Japan has been attacked and calls for its allies for help. A nation like South Korea, Australia, Indonesia or even the US could respond and work with Japan with already having an understanding how Japan's military operates and can better support them in a conflict. This is why Talisman Sabre is so important to the countries involved. Having the capability of understanding how your allies operate and how your forces can work together to project power is better than any weapon. With all the conflicts happening around the world right now, it's making more governments concerned, pushing them to increase their militaries and their capabilities. One of the most important capabilities for a country is its allies. Having strong allies is the best weapon a nation can have. A lot of countries believe being a Talisman Sabre increases their relationships and their operability with their allies. This is why every Talisman Sabre we are seeing more and more countries join. And it's not just more nations making Talisman Sabre bigger, it's more countries are bringing more and more troops and equipment allowing for bigger and more realistic war games. As good as Talisman Sabre is for the nations involved, there is two main downsides to it. One, it's expensive for a nation to be involved. The cost of sending your troops and all their equipment is a lot and can be hard for a lot of countries. Two, having such a large military exercise is not easy to hide, it's almost impossible. Countries like China and Russia actively spy on these war games. Some countries watch Talisman Sabre from afar to understand how their enemies, or in other words, their competition, work in a combat setting. China has been called out multiple times for almost every Talisman Sabre for having spy ships off the coast of Australia watching these war games. Talisman Sabre is more than just a military exercise. It's a weapon of knowledge. Conflicts in the past have shown how important allies are, and to have an understanding how they work and the equipment they use, making joining forces more powerful and productive. What do you think of Talisman Sabre? Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more content, follow Global Military News on all your social media platforms for more content. Make sure you like and subscribe. Thanks for watching today's video.